I was born with the clap. My mom's a whore.
My mom's a whore. Coop.
I'm back.
Coop, you're back.
How many weeks has it been since we recorded an episode together?
So, the ice storm, clearly, without a windshield, you can't drive, huh?
Yeah,
Do you have a windshield?
Yes, I have a windshield.
Okay.
It's amazing how much that helps, too.
Yeah, especially when it's, what?
It was a back window. It was a back window or something.
Still, though, dude. Still. And, by the way, very dangerous.
Oh, yeah, if I...
When you were like, I'm going to turn around, I'm like, I can't even believe...
Drive out. So what I had to do is... turns out I'm not very good with cars. Like I don't know a whole lot about motor vehicles, despite
I was gonna say,
male.
It's dangerous for Coop to drive on like a nice, beautiful, sunny day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, for the most
Okay.
part.
Okay.
That's
Fair.
on the count of my alcoholism, though.
Yeah.
But what kept happening? So the heater in my car failed. So
Yes.
the defroster failed also.
Yes.
And my window would keep icing over, and I would have to pull off to the side of the road, scrape all the ice off the window, and then drive a few more miles, pull over, scrape all the ice off the window, and eventually it got to the point
That's
where I was
what
like,
you
I'm
were
just going to
doing?
fucking
Like,
kill
Coop,
myself.
I cannot believe that you even did that.
With a
Like when
broken
you were
window,
like,
too.
yeah, when you
it
were
was
like, I'm
fucking
turning
freezing in my
around,
car.
I'm like, you're turning around like inside your house from the door back to your couch? What do you mean you're turning around?
Got halfway to the front door, and I was like, nope, too dangerous.
Thank you. That's what I thought. But you were like, no, I got in my car and tried to get here. And that's why we love you, Coop. But,
I made it about 20 miles.
you know, I think the audience will agree. It was a rough one, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I
And
didn't have power
maybe
for 5 days.
maybe
Really?
a good...
Oh, shit.
Oh, well, the case, I mean, that you missed.
Oh, the case. I thought you were talking about my life, but okay, let's talk about the case.
Oh,
Jesse.
sorry.
All about you, Joel.
Sorry. You stayed at Dan's. You stayed at a mansion.
It was so hard. It's
We know
practically
how
a
it was
third
for
world
you.
country over there.
We know how it was for you. Feeding the deer, drinking, eating steak.
It's good steak.
We know how it was. It wasn't rough.
It wasn't that bad. Okay, fine.
We're talking about the case that Joel's wife
Yeah.
brought to our attention, which might have been the worst. Now, look, love her. And maybe some people will
Just
love
throwing
it.
that out there.
And some people did. You can let her know that we got lots of messages from sick fucks.
Listener came in today and was like, "You're the one with the wife."
Yeah, the fucked up wife,
Fucked
dude.
up wife.
The crazy one?
Yeah. All with love we say, Cavetta. All with love we say, but Jesus. And then he sent me another case the other day. This is another one my wife wants you to look into. Sure, bud, get right on that. So, she knows.
It was worse than the Dahmer case.
She knows I'm joking. It was worse than the Dahmer case.
So I'm familiar with the girl in the box.
Right.
I was planning on being here for that episode, so I
Yeah.
did my research for it. I didn't know about the whole Stockholm syndrome part, though.
The Stockholm syndrome part,
It's worse.
What happened when they let her out of the box for an hour a day? You know what I
They
mean?
would
A
they
lot
let her out
of
to
just
torture
like
her.
a lot of
Well, everybody needs some
almost
exercise.
worse than Dahmer in that it was just unimaginable evil from two people, man and a wife.
I mean, at least Dahmer he'd keep them around for a while, but they'd be dead at that point.
Yeah, at least
I
he was
mean-
Keeping them in a-
grace, like generous enough to kill them.
Hot take, but like
Merciful.
as horrible as Dahmer was, you could see where he was going with it, where it came from. Do you know what I mean? Like there was a method to the insane evil, right? Where you go like, bro, he got imprinted at this age with this and all
Yeah.
of these factors. With that case, it was like
These motherfuckers, yeah.
these motherfuckers. What?
What I
Just
wanted to know-
born
Dude, they
evil.
were a tag team.
What I wanted to know is, how do you find a wife like that?
I know, my
well,
gosh. Well,
Like,
first,
at what point in their relationship, one of them had to broach the subject first?
Well, no,
how
he
did that
sort
conversation
of,
go?
he sort
So
of
she-
tortured her first, which is even more fucked
Well,
up.
even that, how do you approach that in a relationship? I'm asking
I
for
think
a friend.
when you're asking for, I know I was going to say you want the blueprint. You just start dating them when they're 15. Guess you can make them do whatever you want.
Yeah, that's my problem. I don't like
Yep.
going that young.
Yep. Anyways, welcome to Jesse Wiseman's Crime Corner.
Authorities are desperately searching for a killer accused of going on a rampage.
The search for a possible serial killer.
An urgent manhunt for a man authorities believe is behind a triple killing spree.
Police here speculating that a possible serial killer may have struck again.
Told her to get out of the car, and that's when she became afraid, and then I shot her.
You told us to save something for the pod, which I love.
I don't think it's all that interesting, but yeah, normally I do some research on the cases, and I come with my own arguments and observations.
Sure.
Oh, you're not
like
prepared
that.
today, is what you're saying.
No,
I'm
this one is
unprepared.
a-
It's not my fault, though. It for sure isn't my fault. I blame, like most of my problems in my life, I blame my mother. Mm-hmm. Because she's been watching my dogs for me during the day while I'm at work, and when I went to pick up my dogs last night, she was like, oh, hey, it's nice outside right now. Why don't we go sit on the back patio and have a drink together? I was like, okay, cool. I like drinking with my mom. She's a fun drunk.
So far, I'm liking this.
I know this sounds amazing.
Well, next thing I know, it's 2:30 in the morning, and her and I are probably about 5 Long Island iced teas in. She is plastered.
Long Island iced tea. By the way, who drinks those anymore?
A professional alcoholic.
Jesus Christ.
Technically, she's a professional trophy wife, but
Can we
same
fucking
thing.
hang out with your
Dude,
mom?
she is so much. I had a fucking blast last night.
Does she know me?
Oh yeah, she's a fan.
Okay, good, because my mom's a fan of you.
Okay.
Let's not make it weird, but I mean,
Oh, maybe
So-
we could dial something in.
ooh,
Can we get our moms to be friends?
they fucking would.
That
And
would
by
be
the
fun.
way, danger zone.
That would be.
I think that would be dangerous. Do you know what I mean? Like, hey, your mom's an alcoholic. My mom's let's get them together. Yeah.
Two alpha women getting together.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
dangerous.
yeah, yeah.
So yeah, 2:30 in the morning, drunk as shit with my mom on the back porch, and she's telling me how she corrupted my stepdad. Your stepdad, when I first met him, he was so uptight and such a nerd. He'd never even done anal before. I'm like, Mom, what the fuck? She's like, what?
Coop.
You think I'm joking?
can't
I'm not.
tell
I'm like,
if
no, I know you're being serious, but I don't need to know that.
Can't tell if you're telling a real story.
No,
are
that's
you?
a true story.
I believe it.
Coop.
That's why I woke up insanely hungover today. Still, my mom called me at like 11:30 in the morning. She's like, "So how are you feeling today?" I was like, "I'm hurting quite a bit." She's like, "I'm still drunk."
You know what? I have
love
two
that
boys, and I can't wait for an evening like that.
Oh my God.
Right? Because I'm gonna be.
There's nothing like it.
I'm gonna be like, let's
You can
fucking
you can
dirtbag, son.
with your own kids. Fuck, that's awesome.
Right?
I never even thought of that.
Is there any other reason to convince you? No, I know you're
Couldn't
not doing
say no.
it.
If anybody's on the fence about having kids, just imagine getting drunk with them at some point, because it is a fucking.
And having
Shit.
your mom be the one that's like, hey, let me just make you a cocktail. You're like, Mom, why are you putting every white liquor, a little bit of Coke, and fucking lemonade in there?
You know I don't like the brown liquors.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, I just like to make it look.
She's a multifaceted woman.
Coop's mom's awesome. We had her on the show for an episode.
Oh, that's right.
And she was so out of control that we had to take it down because her husband was really upset about it.
I was supposed to
Oh,
be on
yeah.
that, no? For
Wait, was that?
Mother's Day.
Oh yeah, yeah.
think
You
it
were
was
supposed to be there
Mother's
for Mother's
Day.
Day. We'll do it again this year.
Damn it. Yeah,
If I
let's
can
do it
convince
again.
my stepdad to let her out of the house.
It was
'cause
hilarious because he was there.
Yeah, and have her come to this studio. That'd be
He
fun.
was there with us, and she was like, "All right, I'm not gonna drink. Don't worry, everything's fine, honey. Why don't you just leave?"
Soon as we close the door,
let's do
Two shots.
By the way,
God bless her. I love
by
it.
the way, is there anything more fun than an alcoholic?
Oh,
Do you know what I'm saying? A true blue made it to the end. Make it to the end, by the way. Don't get, all fucking depressing, right?
Yeah, well, if you can make it to her age and be an alcoholic,
That's
you've
what I'm
learned a lot
saying.
of lessons. You're a very careful, calculated person, but you still know how to have a good time.
Exactly. Like you still have a home, you're still married,
Mm-hmm.
your kids still talk to you, you haven't killed
did good.
anybody.
She did good.
You made
as
it
far
to
as we
the
know.
end.
Yeah, as far as we know, she hasn't killed anyone.
Oh,
don't
but
think.
but she can just drink those feelings away, huh? All right. So the case tonight, yes, you have a good excuse for not doing any
Great
research,
excuse.
but I like to do this to myself where I pick a pretty complicated case just because it's something. There's something in it that interests me, like a couple things or something that I think is funny. So then I end up writing this complicated case because of like two parts of it that I think are like, do you know what I mean? The whole thing is crazy, but We're going to go small town. We're going to go the Poconos. The Pocono Mountains,
that.
right?
Song.
Pennsylvania.
Okay.
Everybody knows of a place called the Poconos.
Right.
So that's where you want to go to get away from it all.
Yeah, most people are like, I was today years old when I found out the Poconos wasn't like a fucking tropical island, right?
It sounds like it's off the Florida Keys.
Yeah. Because you always go, oh, the Poconos.
It sounds like a Native American tribe or something to me.
It's almost like Ozarks, the Poconos.
Yeah.
We're going to the Poconos. So this is, I'm going to do tentative titles throughout because I don't want to do a title that's going to give it away, right?
Okay.
So the show is about minister Arthur Burton Sherman, otherwise known as A.B. A.B. Shermer. Did I say Sherman? It's Shermer.
you did.
Shermer? A.B. Shermer.
Well, because you were late, Coop, I had to drink a little bit of cow juice before. Cow juice! Sorry. But I promise I'm going to stick to the story, guys. Don't worry. So, A.B. Shermer. A.B. Shermer.
Are we going to let the
Let's do
listeners
it.
decide again?
Let's do it. But I'll throw mine out there throughout. My top picks.
And if they can't beat them, then we're going to
And
pick
then if
yours.
yeah. Exactly. But I'll probably pick your guys' because you're very funny. All right. So on the night of July 15th, 2008, good year. Now that's what I call music 13. I think that's when that was. Stanley Dickerson came upon a PT Cruiser. You guys fucking remember PT Cruisers? The chokehold PT Cruisers had on us for a little bit, right?
Those fucking cars.
I can't remember the year, but remember you see
still
them.
my dream car.
Right? Purple, huh?
Oh, absolutely.
Still purple, sparkly.
With the wood side panels.
Yes.
That is pure class.
With flames? Decals?
No, that's
Do you remember you would
tacky.
see them everywhere? PT Cruiser, dude.
I was in one once.
What was it
Sweet
like?
ride. Yeah, how'd you feel in your
beautiful,
heart? How'd you feel in your heart?
I can only imagine.
I wanted to kill myself.
So what else is new?
Did we know someone with a PT Cruiser? I feel like we did.
Did we have? Maybe.
I've never been that cool.
Some
feel like I've
dorky
been-
artist, wannabe actor, motherfucker, with a PT Cruiser.
Purple PT
Sounds
Cruiser is
about right.
in my mind. I don't know why. Someone had it in Ventura.
Yeah.
That we know. Anyway. So he came upon a PT Cruiser against a guardrail on a side of the desolate rural road in the Pocono Mountains of Pennsylvania. So when he walked up to the car, he saw Reverend A.B.
Horton Heat? That's my favorite reverend.
He heard Reverend Horton Heat just fucking blaring. And he saw Reverend Arthur A.B. Shermer and Betty Shermer inside. Betty was bloodied, unconscious, slumped over, and the Reverend was dazed. And Stanley was like, "Are you guys okay? What's going on?" And ended up calling 911. And he told the troopers that there's this crash. Husband and wife are here. The wife looks pretty bad. Come on down. So when the Pennsylvania state troopers arrived, Mr. Shermer told police he had been rushing his wife to the hospital because she was complaining of jaw pain. Oh, your jaw hurts. Let's go! Let's go! Right? You're like, oh, well, I was just saying, like, my jaw hurt a little bit. Get in the car! We're going to the fucking ER!
There's no time.
There's no
We
time
have
to
to go.
waste! Yeah. She's like, I can breathe, everything. Get in!
Save your strength.
Yeah.
You're fading
I'll
fast.
I'll carry you. She's like, what the fuck is going on? So he told them he was rushing his wife because she was complaining of jaw pain. And she was feeling uncomfortable, so she unbuckled her seatbelt. And right at that moment, a deer ran out in front of them, and he swerved to miss the deer, and the car, he swerved, broke all of that. The car spun out a couple times and landed on the guardrail, crashed into there, right?
Wait, why did she take off the seatbelt?
She was uncomfortable because her jaw hurt so bad.
Yeah. Seatbelt.
Can't have the seatbelt with the jaw.
Oh, that
right?
seatbelt is just
No.
aggravating my jaw.
I think I'm giving it away. Okay, so anyway, she was just feeling like, if she was really like, oh my God, I can't like open my mouth or something, whatever happened, where she was like really feeling that something was wrong, and you're sitting in the PT Cruiser. I don't know if you've been in one. You said you have. Not comfy. So she was just like, probably wanting to move around because it was just like uncomfortable.
Schirmir, dude.
Dude.
Not okay with the jaw hurting. That means no more
No.
blowjobs.
Yeah. If you tell Schirmir that anything hurts, he will fucking rush you to the hospital immediately. So that was his account, basically, that he's telling the police. He said he was going 55 miles an hour, super high speed. And, on this rural road, there's signs for deer, crossing every, 100 feet, 500 feet, whatever. It's really common. And so when you hear that, you're kind of like, first off, the police are like, yep, happens all the time, right?
Happens all the time.
Usually you hit the deer and that makes you crash, not like not trying to, you know what I mean? Like you don't usually try and
Dodge the deer.
yes, when you've lived in places like that
I never
before,
try to dodge
you
'em. I kind of swerve towards them.
yeah, you
Have you guys
kind of
ever hit a
you
deer?
hit them a little bit.
Not yet. They always get away.
haven't. Bird,
You hit a bird once?
yeah, stuck in the grill, still
I hit a bird
alive.
once.
In the grill.
It's still out there. You want to
hit
go
a
see it?
seagull and it stuck in the
Yep.
headlight. It was like half into the headlight lens. It didn't break the glass, but like it went through the headlight and the metal, like the seam where the metal frame holds the headlight. Doesn't matter. It was gross.
Is there anything grosser than like a bird half dead?
Ugh.
Do you know what I mean? Dead bird,
Sideways.
fine. Alive bird, okay. Half
dead? Yeah.
half dead, there's nothing grosser.
Yeah.
I'm gonna clip that and put a song on it.
Yeah, no, don't do it. Don't
Flock
do
of
it.
Seagulls song.
Okay, so this is what he tells the police. And Betty is rushed to the hospital and was placed on life support. So like
She's fucked up.
AB's sitting there like, a little bit dazed and complaining of things hurting, but, he's totally fine. His wife's on life support. I mean, fuck. She is fucked
Holy
up.
shit.
Yeah. From this crash. But if you don't have your seatbelt on, the person with their seatbelt is going to be a lot less, especially if you're spinning and, swerving and all of that. There was a brain scan done, and it was determined that Betty had severe head trauma from a head-on collision, and it was ruled an accident. I think some of the police maybe knew him and knew that he was a minister. It's a really small community, so I think it's like, this is a crazy thing that happened to the pastor, right? Like, geez, okay, sorry, bud. So everything kind of moved quickly.
Yeah.
It was ruled an accident. After a few days, Betty was taken off life support and was cremated the next day.
Oh, wow. He moves fast.
Yeah. Pro tip. If you kill somebody,
God damn it.
or if anyone, like, you have any accident in the family, something like this, little suspicious, if someone wants to cremate the person immediately,
They're trying to hide something.
maybe ask a couple questions. You know what I mean? Ask a couple questions.
Well, at least walk yourself through the series of events one last time before you just put it in the back of your mind. Just be like, is there anything strange about this?
Is there anything strange? Sounds all good. I mean, it all sounds good to me, right? You're fucking totally fine. Your wife's fucking annihilated on life support. And yeah.
That's one of my rules. If I'm with someone I care about in a car and they don't want to wear the seatbelt, I take mine off. Because I don't want to live if they're going to die.
Sounds a little bit like
Gosh, I'm
codependency.
not sure. Why don't we just tell them to put it on, huh?
Well, if they'll put it on, then I'll wear mine. But if
Right.
like if I was with my wife and she was like, I don't want to wear my seatbelt, I'd be like, all right, I take mine off.
That's
And you
true
guys would
love.
both just listen to the beeping the whole time. I fucking can't stand it, dude.
I have only old cars, so I don't have cars that have the beeping sound.
Oh,
This is
sweetie
awesome.
pie. Sweetie pie. You rich? I only have old restored fucking.
They drive
Bullshit.
classic
Yeah.
cars.
All right. So who were the people in this amazing PT Cruiser? A.B. Shermer, 61, Ab.
Ab Shermy.
Yeah. AKA Abby Sheemy. Yeah, let's think of what?
Abshi.
Abshi. Abshi.
What was his wife's name again?
Abshi.
Betty.
Betty? Yeah. I
Betty
was trying to think
Sheemy?
of some sort of portmanteau, like a Benifer or
Right.
Brangelina, but it's kind of a shitty one.
RDB. He should have gone by RDB.
Ooh, yeah, I like that way better.
RDB, if he was cool, but he's a nerd.
RDB if you're nasty.
Okay.
Even how he
It's a
says
Janet Jackson song.
Even how he says nasty. RDB if you're nasty. All right. RDB Shermer, 61, was a respected pastor at the Readers Methodist Church in Readers, Pennsylvania. Betty Shermer, 56, was AB's second wife of 13 years. The two met a year after his first wife died, and a couple years after Betty had gotten a divorce from her first husband. The two were a huge part of the church, as well as the small community of Readers, Pennsylvania. Yes, Joel.
His first wife died. How did she die?
So what, dude? People fucking die. What are you talking about?
People die all the time. It's not always
Coincidence?
suspicious.
It's just a coincidence that both his fucking wives died. Okay?
I've learned a lot from this show. That's not a
Exactly. We
coincidence.
know that I shouldn't have even said it in the beginning, huh? But you never know. If it's cancer, then we're good to go, right? Didn't we agree on that? If it's cancer,
Sort of.
you kind of can't give someone cancer, right?
You just have to put anything radioactive like under their pillow, and they'll get cancer for sure.
Okay, but
Yeah, but,
that one
the-
we can kind of like.
Yeah, but the timeline though isn't reliable. Like there's no way to predict.
Gosh, it would take fucking 20 years.
And what if they
So
go
you have
into-
to marry someone, and the entire 20 years that you're with them, just be doing weird radioactive shit next to them at night, and finally, oh, they got the tumor.
Oh, their jewelry.
Oh, my wife finally got the tumor. Babe, are you still around? Nope, it's 20 years later.
Oh, their jewelry is just radioactive.
Yeah. All right. Readers, Pennsylvania. Jow.
How did the wife die?
Car accident.
Shut up,
we just
Joel.
Went over that.
Sorry. That's what I'm thinking right now.
Yeah, and you're gonna find out
Okay.
It's called foreshadowing.
in due time. The two were a huge part of their church, as well as a small community of readers. Betty was fun and charismatic, always wore her seatbelt, and as we already know, she had a smile
That would
that would
light up a
the
room.
room, right? Didn't she? She was always so fun. There's one picture, Joel, if you can find it. She's looking out the window of the PT Cruiser, just making a funny, weird face. She was so great, right? These fucking nerds, right?
So what you're saying is she had it coming.
She what?
She had it coming.
yeah.
Say that?
She killed herself essentially.
Look, you don't know, Joel. Betty could have been the murderer of the first wife.
Oh, fuck.
Whoopsie daisy. You watch your fucking step over there. Just
Plot
kidding.
thickens.
Yeah, exactly. Now Joel's gonna be like, I'm confused. There is a lot of players in this story, so we got to keep things. If you have questions, I'm sure that the audience does too, like about like who's who and what.
Okay.
So don't
I'll ask.
hesitate.
Okay.
Okay, she had a smile that would light up a room, and she was super funny among their church dorky friends. Okay,
Why are you
rumors.
hating on church people so much?
I'm not. I'm just.
Did you?
It's just so crazy to me that when things like this happen in like such a boring, dorky group of people. You know what I mean? Where you just go, God, if I walked into their dinner party, I would just be like, not one fucking interesting thing is going to happen here. Whoopsie daisy. Actually, yeah, there is, but it's all kept fucking secret, right?
Yeah. I understand.
You know what I mean? And then the other thing that drew me to this case is how do I say this? The people in small towns like this, sheltered, the people that these guys will fucking risk it all for. I mean, you're trading a 3 for a 3. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is fucking crazy that you go like, huh? For them? Sorry. Maybe this one won't go on the audio.
Maybe she was like a Pocono 8. I mean,
that's what I mean. So
LA
it's like
2, but a Pocono 8.
Yeah, like the people
Christ.
that you're gonna put the pictures up. You're gonna put the pictures up. Okay? I don't have to say anything. You're gonna put the pictures up. Anyway, rumors began to start though when AB and his pastor's assistant, Cindy Musante. Ooh, put a picture of this fox up, please.
Oh no. Are they all fucked up looking? Well,
No.
They're on the screen
No,
right now.
it's not fucked up. It's not fucked up. It's just normal. It's normal life. It's normal people.
Normal mountain
It's
people?
America,
Oh,
right?
they're-
Like,
yeah,
don't
they're normies.
you know?
That's gross.
Don't believe what you see in TV or movies where it's like always this like hot, sexy like person that's gonna. You know what I mean? It's not. It's just the one that's there.
If you were going to cast them as actors in a biopic, who would you choose?
So the Betty would be Tilda Swinton,
Who's that?
kind of like the giraffe-looking androgynous. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
You know that, right? Where it's
Oh,
like
yeah.
is male, female? I don't know. No fuss haircut, right? I keep it real short.
The gender is up in the
I don't.
air.
My sexiness is gonna come from my personality, right? Maybe a little bow, huh? Anyway, not getting into that. Joel always gets like very. You get offended, and then it makes me feel bad.
I'm not offended.
Huh?
But I mean, I think it's fucked up. You're making fun of ugly people.
Okay, there we go. See, now I feel bad. Thought you were going to be on my side. Okay, so Cindy Musante, they were seen together a lot and were very cozy. So this is right after Betty's death, right? But there's no confirmation she works for him. They have to hang out. No one knows anything at this point. Rumors were confirmed, though, when Cindy's 16-year-old daughter found text messages between her mother and the pastor. Emily, Cindy's daughter, created a fake email account and emailed AB, RDB, telling him people know what they're doing and that they need to stop. But AB and Cindy, you know, kind of talked and went through like the way it was worded, and she was like, this is my daughter. So
They could tell.
yeah.
Damn.
So they called Emily into the pastor's office, and she was reprimanded about her behavior, and they
I hope
just
they gave
let
her a
her know.
spanking.
Yeah, they let her know that she was wrong. There's nothing going on, and we need to just drop it. Cindy's husband, Joe Musante, was a part of the church, and Joe was a carpenter and worked on all the projects at the church. He even built a custom hardwood large desk for AB's office. When you put the picture of it, it's very good. Like, it's beautiful. He built like this amazing, like, woodworking, dark stained, you know. Okay.
So he has style.
He has style, but like he also like does things that he's not getting paid for and working really hard and making these amazing things for the church,
Oh,
right?
he's a chump.
Yeah.
Poor guy.
He's a man. Emily eventually informed her father of the text messages she found, and Joe was devastated. He had always kind of struggled with depression and alcoholism, and he was the one that actually brought the family to the church because he was like, I need to get my life together. And then they all became very heavily involved. His wife was pastor's assistant. He's the carpenter. The daughter goes. It's like
And then his
their
wife's
whole
banging
thing.
the pastor?
Right. So
damn,
I'm
they were
sure he was
Heavily
just
involved
like,
with the church.
yeah.
Was her jaw sore too?
Graham June.
Crab juice.
Yeah, good idea.
Okay. And this church actually saved him, by the way. But one evening, AB.
Sounds like it ruined his marriage.
Yeah. So that's why it's
saved
so.
him, but at what cost?
That's why it's so devastating, because you're just like, holy shit, this is my entire life right now, right? And it's being crushed. And so one evening, AB actually called Cindy and told her that Joe called him enraged, that he had a gun, that he was coming after them and him, and he's like on a rampage.
Shit.
Didn't call the cops, by the way. Called Cindy.
Right.
Right. As you do. Weasel. And then he left town because he was scared. So he was like, hey, he called her, warned her.
RDB did?
RDB just fucking got out of town
Split.
because he's weaselly diesely.
What a dick.
yeah.
Your husband's coming to kill you. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Hey, worried about you? Do what you gotta do. I'm fucking out.
Look, I don't want to get in the middle of your marriage. I feel like
Yeah.
it's not really my place to get involved. So I'm just
I
going to
don't
go
really
ahead and
feel
skip
like-
town for a little
God
while.
works in mysterious ways.
Hey, you're gonna be fine. Bye.
Bye.
So he stated that he was worried for Cindy and the kids. So Joe, as he drove to the pastor's office, so he's got a gun, so he told him, and he's driving to the pastor's office to either talk to him, threaten him, whatever, like get answers. He's repeatedly calling his wife Cindy and his daughter, begging them to just talk to him because they had already been like, look, this is happening. We're done. So Cindy didn't answer, and then she told her daughter not to answer as well. Just like, we don't want him to know where we are, anything, just like don't answer the phone. So Joe broke into the church and went into AB's office and sat at the desk he made for him. And he made one last call to his daughter. He left a message saying, if you love me at all, you will call me back, please. And the next morning, he was found dead at the desk, the self-inflicted gun wound.
Is
He had put his...
self-inflicted in quotes?
Nope.
Okay.
And he had put the gun in his mouth and shot himself.
Oof.
God damn.
Behind
And
the
his
ear
daughter
is
got
actually
that
a
message.
much better way to do it.
His daughter got that message the next morning.
Oh, God.
She seems pretty well adjusted, but God.
Oh, man. I can't imagine the guilt that goes along with that.
Holy shit. And you were the one that told him. And you know what I mean?
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So pretty
terrible.
horrible. We're now into like some horrible stuff. His
How old was his daughter?
16 at the time.
Old enough to know better.
Yeah.
Shit.
Stay out of it.
He's kind of a bitch for killing himself, in my opinion. Just saying.
For sure.
If you have a daughter, you can't kill yourself because your wife's
Right.
cheating on you. You're a coward.
Well, obviously you can. He did it.
Right.
Well, you're a bitch.
Well, you're offending me. See how it feels? You fuck. Okay.
Sounds like both these men are kind of bitches, you know.
Yeah.
RDB,
Well, actually, no.
Dirty bitch.
Joe's like this big lumbering,
He
he's a
had problems
carpenter
ahead of
dude.
time,
Like,
so-
He had a
he
soft
had
heart.
problems ahead of time. He's having panic attacks because his wife is basically gaslighting him, being like, I know you think that I'm having an affair, but I'm not. You're crazy. You have problems. You know
You're
what I mean?
having an
Having
affair.
Yes. And so he's like, I fucking know she is. And was having panic attacks and problems. And then when he finally found out, it was like, fuck.
Did he see the text messages or was he just told about them by his daughter?
Once he was told about the text messages by his daughter, he ended up like keeping really tight tabs on his wife. So he was like looking at phone records, email, like he has a whole like briefcase
He had evidence.
full, evidence
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. Is it
evidence that he was going to go to, you know what I mean? Like probably go to the church with, or like make some kind of case there. But in the end, killed himself.
He killed himself
He
instead.
did, though. He left a camera and this briefcase full of evidence under his daughter's bed. So
Nice.
that's almost, in a way, he didn't leave a suicide note, but he left, like, when she found it, she started going through it and took it to the church and stuff like this, right? So this is kind of what he wanted all along, for this fucking guy to at least be looked at, because he was a creepy creep. At the very least, he's a creeper, right? And we've had a couple cases like this where it's like, are you a creep or are you murder? Like, I can't, being one
Are you
is
just
not
an
necessarily
asshole?
the other, right?
I feel like it's a bit of a gateway drug to murder, though, if you're just a creep.
For sure, like a super creep. Yeah. So, right after, what?
There's
super
different
creep?
levels of creep.
Yeah.
Creep and then super creep.
Super creep.
There's like
super
creepy,
creep. He's super
little creepy. There's like creepist, and then there's super creep. And he was super creep. Right after Joe's death, Cindy and AB, and I mean right after, I want to say even the day before his funeral, they come out as a couple.
Those
That is
fucking
in poor taste.
dickweed fucks.
Yeah, they're just they're being fucking ridiculous. Cindy even confided in Joe's sister, the guy that killed himself. She was close with his sister, so her sister-in-law. She even confided in Joe's sister Rose that they had been seeing each other for a couple months already, and that they were in love, and she had never felt this way before, and like dumb.
To her sister-in-law?
Just some simpleton fucking threes, banging threes, hoping they're fucking feeling like they're tens. You know what I mean? It's just
Oh, I know all too well.
Uggo on Uggo crime. You know what I mean? So
Nothing
you're
new,
not
just-
ugly.
just
Why are you
uggos killing
offended?
uggos.
I'm not offended.
Okay.
The threes know how to fuck.
Okay. So
Well, 'cause they
that's,
have to.
you know what? That is probably the exact answer, right?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah,
If
threes
someone's
can
in
bang.
like a loveless marriage, they're not having sex. The other one isn't either. Like once they find someone that will, and it's a little bit like taboo.
Oh, they're gonna go buck wild.
Oh, butt stuff, butt stuff,
Oh,
butt
yeah,
stuff.
It'll curl your toes.
I don't curl your toes.
Oh God,
My God.
And that's why you give the threes a chance.
that was weird because I was curling my toes when you said that.
You felt it coming.
Yeah, you knew it.
I feel it coming every time, Coop.
So, anyways, that was dumb, for sure, dumb of her. Cindy also told Rose about Betty's death, which Rose hadn't heard this before. But when Rose heard the accident, how it happened, what happened, the first thing she asked was, did he hit the deer? And she was like, no, he swerved out of the way. But already Rose was like, this situation is so fucking weird. I feel very weird about this. Yeah. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't sound right. This is, at best, super inappropriate to be talking about this the day before my brother's funeral. So you must be out of it, right? Rose was about to open. So Rose is actually the catalyst that's going to open back up all of these closed cases.
And Rose is the
The dead
The
husband's
guy who
sister.
shot himself, the guy who
Copy.
shot himself's sister.
Oh, Rose is the sister,
Rose is the sister.
not the widow.
No,
What's her name? The one that AB's fucking?
Cindy.
Cindy. Okay.
Cindy Musanti. And she's just real chatty Cathy with the fucking sister of the guy who just died.
That's the part that I don't understand.
I know.
Why would
Are you trying to fucking
you
get
tell your dead husband's sister about the affair that you were
And
having
not-
that caused his suicide?
that caused his suicide and not too far. So at the very least, she's going, hey man, we at least need to look at this guy in the realm of the church. So as we know, they do their own kind of trials and tribunals and all of this, and he can be
Sacrifices, ritualistic.
No, they'll almost do like a
sacrifices.
trial inside the church and handle it internally, right? Which is either like he's gonna be, fired, let go, like disgraced, whatever it may be. But that's like the first place.
If they're anything like the Catholic Church, they're just going to transfer them to another city.
You throw holy water on.
That's how
And
pedophiles
and for
got
sure
away with
that
it for a long
happens
time.
for sure. But anyway, she first filed a complaint with the church, and then she called detectives from the Pocono County and just voiced her concerns, told her everything that happened, everything that she has, and that maybe they need to look into this guy a little bit more. And so the church actually called AB and was just wanting him to come in and question him, the church, not detectives. And he ended up just stepping down. Instead of going through any kind of questioning, he just like stepped down, resigned, and left.
He just fucking bailed.
Yeah, that's kind of what he does. Sounds like, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't like any conflict, like divorce or, you know what I mean? Facing the music, nothing like that. So investigators decided to take a closer look at Betty's death, the accident. Specifically, Detective James Wagner.
Ooh.
Not a great name, but definitely a superhero. Like, would not let this case go.
Not
Even
a terrible name. Doesn't sound like anything you could fit in a movie title, but it could
Detective
be worse.
James
J-Wag.
J-Wag,
Ooh,
dude.
J-Wag. J-Wag.
All right, so
I like.
J-Wag was like a dog with a bone. He would not let it go. But Detective Wagner obtained crime scene photos from the accident, as well as scans from Betty's hospital stay, brain scans. Here's what he found, taking a closer look instead of just like a police officer that's like, all right, buddy, like no problem, hear it, sorry about it. This person actually looked at the photos. So there was no marking on the road, as we know. There needs to be some kind of brake. If you brake, there's going to be tire tracks on the road or swerve or anything.
So no skid marks at
No
all?
skid marks whatsoever in the pictures taken that day. So this isn't
It took
them
pictures
coming.
of his underwear?
Well, yeah, that's part of the investigation, Joel.
So these are pictures taken like that night. This isn't like they came back the next day or whatever. These are only pictures that they took that night because they were like, oh, it's an accident.
Take the photos.
But it
blah,
was
blah.
enough, yeah. So there was no markings on the road. There was actually minimal damage to the car. So you'll show this picture, but there's like no broken glass. There's no airbags were deployed, even though he said there was. In the pictures, there's no airbags. It's completely fine. No broken glass, no airbags.
Torresant, as you would say.
Yeah, very.
Yeah, I think overall you can just chalk that up to good old American engineering.
Yeah, the PT Cruiser?
Dude, it's
That's a fucking commercial for the PT Cruiser, if you ask me. Yeah. So,
they just use a picture of his dead wife in the passenger seat in their ads.
Yeah, he's fine. Wife is dead. PT Cruiser will keep you safe. There's the one picture, and you can find this, that really made him. First of all, he's already just like, this does not look like a high-speed crash at all. Like, this looks like a little bit of a fender bender at best, but it was dark and it was on the side of the road, and like, things are heightened, and you just go like, oh my God, she's get her to the hospital, whatever. So if you really step back and take a look at it, there's one picture of the inside of the car, like from the back seat to the front where the gear shift is. And in old school cars, they have these like kind of, they're a place for your change.
Yeah.
But you kind of like lay it standing up. There's like
Oh, yeah,
quarter,
yeah. Yeah, there's, like,
it
little
has
shelves
like,
for the coins.
yes. So those were perfectly intact right there. And it's not it's just like a little divot for you to kind of grab them
it's
easily.
like a horizontal shelf.
So
God,
those
those cars are made well.
Right?
It's amazing.
It's so amazing. PT Cruiser. PT Cruisin Pastor. Possible title. But I'm sure you guys will come out with better ones. So this is the picture that if he's saying Betty's, all over the place, head wounds everywhere, severe damage, and it's spinning around, and the change is still not one even dime is out of place.
Little suspect.
I'll
admit it's a
Sus.
little suspect.
Yeah. Say sus now, Coop. It's 2022.
Oh, sorry.
No, I'm over the age of 30.
Okay.
Maybe maybe
Biologically.
mentally.
No, physically I'm over the age of 60. Chronologically, I'm over the age of 30.
Okay.
Where's fucking J Dubs?
Who's J-Dubs?
Wagner, the
Yeah.
detective.
Yeah, he's looking at the pictures, dude.
Okay. Just
And I'm telling you what he's seen.
sorry, I like him, J Dub, dude.
I know, J-Dub's the business. Sorry.
Jesse, can you ignore your
No,
phone
I'm sorry,
for
I'm sorry.
like another 30 minutes or so?
I care about my kids.
God.
Look at me.
So unprofessional.
No, it's not my kids, it's my friend.
Are you going out tonight?
Friend.
You can leave it in. You can leave this in.
Put it on
Yes.
speaker.
Yes, leave it in. Hi.
At our taco place.
You're at a taco place. You're on air. So how is it so far? How is it so far? I had to answer.
The crowd is running old.
Sure, they're at a Bruce Springsteen concert, guys. Okay, the crowd
All right,
is
now
running,
you have my attention.
and it's old. It's
Tad Senior.
sure,
Senior.
sure. A lot of wheelchairs, a lot of walkers, things like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
More here than me, which I'm appreciating. I'm
She sounds
I'm
hot.
feeling young and frisky.
My producer Joel says you sound hot, and I will tell him that she is.
Okay, good.
Indeed, she's got a leather jacket on.
It's the red lip. and
It's the
leather
red
jacket.
lip. It's the red lip. But you know what is good about all the seniors is it makes us feel young and flirty, right?
For sure. And
I know.
you know what?
What?
And they're just really happy to be here. They're happy to be alive.
Right? It's a
what I was
good
gonna say.
day if they woke up.
They're happy to
It's
still
a
be kicking.
good day if they woke up.
Holy shit.
Okay, shirt size. What are you doing? Are you getting me a shirt?
Merch.
Oh my
Get
gosh,
merch.
bestie. It's my bestie.
I
Okay.
mean, I got to.
So I'm a hard target medium, and Ross is an extra, and Ross is an extra large.
You got it. Coming up.
Thanks, girl. Have so much fun.
Oh my God, I will.
Okay, love you
I just wish you were
too.
here.
I know,
Christ.
same. Shut up, guys. Okay, love you. Bye.
Bye.
Yes, one Target medium and one Walmart extra large.
You know, Target medium is a specific size because it's not quite a large.
It's close
Is that
though,
like
because
a kid's medium?
No, Target has sizes for humans
No.
that won't accept their actual size. So if you go, I'm a Target medium, then she'll know, okay, like definitely not a small. And if it looks like it's small, I'm going to go up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the way Target shirts fit. It's the only mediums that I can fit into anymore.
Right? Because you're a large. Okay.
Why would you want to fit in a medium, Coop?
Wait, are you?
Because I like feeling small.
Yeah, that's why he's wearing a long
gay.
I like
sleeve,
feeling
tight, slimming. He's slimming. Okay.
Soy boy.
So, soy boy? Soy boy?
I'm allergic
All right, I'm sorry,
to soy.
guys.
Thank you very much.
Sorry for that interlude.
Who is that?
That's my friend from the neighborhood, my bestie. And
Can't recall her name, but we're good friends.
Lauren.
Oh, you didn't say
I don't
that.
know. Do people want their names? I mean, do people want their names on the crime show where I'm making fun of egos? Probably not. So Lauren, we'll say her name is
Would she be
Lauren.
offended?
No,
Okay.
of course not. That's why she's my friend. But
so
she's
if
at
she would be
she's
offended,
at
you would-
Bruce. No, I don't. I'm not friends with people
You're
that are
only-
easily offended. What would we have to say to each other?
No,
Tell me,
what
she
you're saying
literally
is you're,
can't
you're
be.
not friends with ugly people. Yeah,
No!
I hear you loud and clear.
I'm friends with
one
you,
person
Joel,
that's easily
right?
offended.
Yeah. But anyway, she's at Bruce. She's at Spruce tonight. Spruce Springsteen, yeah.
That's fucking rad.
I know, right? Okay.
Get it, girl.
Get a girl, get a girl. Okay. So the picture of the change was a huge red flag. I mean, is that where the term red flag comes from? Anyways, this is where he goes, this definitely does not look right. On Betty's side of the car as well, there is a lot of blood. Like his side's clean. Hers is like a lot, and it's everywhere. It's on the seat under her. It's on the side. It's on the door. I mean, she must have flew up in the air, bled underneath her, gone to the side. I mean, it's like the way that she must have been tumbling around this car is almost unbelievable, right?
No, I
No,
believe every
Coop
word of it.
believes him. He's the man of God.
Yeah.
Creep of the cloth was the other one I thought.
I like that one.
Did you like that one?
That's a good one.
I'm spitting. I'm so excited. Okay. Creep of the cloth. That's a good one, right?
Creep of the,
I like
Creep of the
that
Cloth is the title.
You like that?
Unless
you guys
one of our
beat
listeners can beat that.
the title Creep of the Cloth.
They can't. There's no way.
Hey,
That's fucking
messed
good.
up, Joel. Okay.
That's good.
So on her side of the car, it just looks like, I mean, someone was in a different accident than he was, is the only way that I can really describe it. And again, you're going to show pictures. Detective Wagner, J-Dubs, called Stanley Dickerson, the guy from the beginning of the story that was the Good Samaritan,
Such a
that
stupid
pulled
name.
over and stopped. And he wanted to get his account of the accident because no one ever took a statement from him. He just made the 911 call. The cops came. He was out. They didn't talk to him about anything. So his account of the evening is he walked up to the window. The window was up. AB was just staring forward. It was dark inside the car. And Stanley kind of like knocked on the window, was like, "Hey man, are you okay?" And he was like, "Yeah, I'm fine, but I don't think my wife is." And like when he opened the door, turned on the dome light or something, the guy was like, "Holy shit, yeah, dude, like what are you
She's got half of her brain hanging out
what
of
are
her
you
head. Like,
exactly
I
like
think
what are
my
you
wife
doing
might be
just
hurt.
sitting here?" But again, you never know if someone like has hit their head and they're stunned or dazed or in shock or whatever. So you're
Yeah,
just
people
kind of
can
like,
act really weird when they're in
okay,
shock.
like let's get out, buddy. Like you're not trying to accuse him right there, right? So he said, Stanley asked AB if he had called 911, and he was like, no. And so Stanley's like, okay, I'm gonna call 911, and he wasn't outside flagging cars down to help his wife. He wasn't calling 911 himself on his own functional cell phone. And the car was drivable.
Well, yeah, it's a fucking PT Cruiser.
It's a PT
Those things
Cruiser.
are
I mean, this
tanks.
fucking thing can go through hell.
It's like a step above a Volvo.
Absolutely. It'll keep you safe. Wink, wink, husbands out there. Detective Wagner believed he had enough evidence to search the parsonage. Parsonage is the house, almost like the governor's mansion, whatever. If you are a pastor at a pretty prominent church, they give you a place. There's like a place where the pastors live. If you aren't a pastor there, you move out. The next one moves in. The parsonage, right?
Like the White House.
Like the White House, kind of. So detectives thought they had enough to at least search the parsonage where AB and Betty lived together before her death, right? So investigators called AB in for questioning so that they knew where he was. And as he came into for questioning, they actually went to his house. just so that they knew that he didn't have a lot of warning, that he didn't think they were going there, but they had already had the warrant. So they brought him in for questioning, had him in the investigation, and then the police were at his house searching. They found drops of blood on the ground in the garage. So car would be parked here, blood is on this side, nothing under the car, right?
Passenger side?
Yes. And
Fuck, you didn't clean it?
just a couple drops. Like literally, like if someone cut their finger, it's just like that. It's not like a shit ton. It's just like one drop, and they're like, weird, fine. But when they put the luminol on it, the whole ground lit up. So it was just like a trail of blood from the stairs to the car.
Oh, fuck.
When asked about this, AB said that Betty and him had been bringing wood from their garage out to the wood pit outside. And she, they had brought all the wood out. She had cut herself on something.
She accidentally nicked an artery?
Yeah, she accidentally took the piece of wood and just hit herself on the head fucking 20 times. And he was like, no. And she's like, my jaw kind of hurts. Yeah. No, he said that she cut herself and it just was bleeding a lot. And she walked around, I think, inside, whatever he said. It was just like, oh, she just like got a really bad cut as we were taking the logs outside. So when asked where the wood was that they were taking outside, he said it was in the fire pit. So they were like, oh, we just want to look at it to see if there's any blood on there that we can kind of corroborate your account. And he was like, yeah, go ahead. Underneath, so they searched all the wood. Underneath the wood was a newspaper dated September 2008. Betty died in July of 2008. So there's no way that she could have helped him move wood onto a newspaper that came out after her death, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Fun little fact.
Interesting.
This led police to now look into the death of the unlucky pastor's first wife. I mean, this
Here
guy...
we go, finally.
This guy just, he has...
There's people dying all around him. The poor.
I know,
poor,
he's just
poor
like
man.
have tragedy all around him. It's just like,
Man, if
so
it wasn't
some
for bad
people
luck, I'd have no luck.
exactly, like he's one of those people, and you guys know him, where it's just like, oh, and then this happened. Oh, it's just like, you're like, God, buddy.
Jesus, they are such a fucking bummer at a
I feel
party,
bad
too.
for him.
I mean, you can feel bad for him, but
Feel
just leave
bad.
that shit at home if you're going to be hanging out with
feel
other
so
people.
bad
Don't
for him.
complain about your life all the goddamn time.
Crab juice.
Crab juice, do you hear the gulp, 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 glug, glug? The gulp, 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 glug, glug. You can blame Coop for being a little bit late. For my amazingness, drunky drunk.
You mean thank Coop.
What did I say?
You said blame Coop. You can
Oh.
thank Coop.
You're welcome, Jesse.
Okay. What do we got, you fucks? All right. So this led police to now look into the death of of this unlucky pastor's first wife, Jewel, just like the singer. Mm-hmm. These hands, that's all I know.
That homeless little songbird.
Yeah, I know, that fucking little dirtbag.
She was a dirtbag.
She was
I
a
love her.
dirtbag, huh? She's hot. So they looked into the death of his first wife, Jewel Shermer. So Jewel and AB had been married for 30 years. When one day, Jewel was vacuuming the stairs, as she did all the time, knew how to do it, and a cord wrapped around her foot and her leg, and she fell down the stairs. And I guess hit her head on every single step 5 times. Weird, right? Like weird. But anyways, she fell down the stairs, and the head trauma was so severe that she was also put on life support and was eventually, after not too long, again, taken off and cremated. But not before. So Jewel's brother, There's always someone. There has to be some kind of advocate for you that's going to be like, hey, call detectives or advocate for you. Because otherwise they're like, look, this looks like an accident and that's what it is. Unless somebody else comes to me and says that they weren't doing well or he was beating her or whatever, I don't have much else to go off of, right?
I've had a long day. If nobody's going to call this murder, I'm just going to say it's a fucking accident and go home.
If it's an accident and they, as far as the coroner and the paramedics and nobody makes any note of anything being weird. Mm-hmm. And also in their township, if the paramedics, I think, or police or something don't think that there's any foul play, they don't even call detectives at all. It's literally just like, all right, clean up the body, boys.
Well, yeah, I mean, you can't call a CSI team out to every single death. There's not enough time in the day.
There's not enough people in the world.
In the Poconos? Gosh, there can't be too many. Okay. So, cord wrapped around her foot. She fell down the stairs. The head trauma was so bad. Same. But not before Jules' brother called the police with his concerns about what the scene looked like, how, his sister was acting. It just didn't seem right. All of this. Just can we look, basically calling and asking if we can look into it a little bit more.
Do you recall any of the strange things that she was doing before her death, or what would make him
I think
say
they
that
were
she
just,
was acting?
they were just not getting along. Obviously, they've been married for 30 years, and I think he was seeing someone else. She knew he was seeing someone else, and...
Was it Betty?
No.
Oh.
That wasn't until a year later.
His wife was cheating on him, so he threw her down the stairs?
No, he was
He waited
cheating.
a whole year after a 30-year marriage before getting remarried. What a gentleman.
I'm sure he had a couple of fun times in between. But yeah, so her brother called police with his concerns, leading to a hold on, which I didn't know they could do this, but a hold on the body before the cremation to do an autopsy. Just to, if family members are calling with concerns, they at least want to just do an autopsy, have that on record before they cremate the body, right? Mm-hmm. So they did do that, and they were able to do it a day before the cremation because, again, he was going next day. Next day cremation. This is this guy's fun thing that he does. So both these cases were actually taken to...
It's fun and flirty. Fun and flirty cremations.
Mm-hmm. Right? It really just gets rid of everything, doesn't it? Both these cases were taken to medical examiner Dr. Wayne Ross. Now we've got our fucking Wayne Ross, dude. Two-namer. Who quickly found, just by looking at the photos and the scans of Betty's head and the autopsy, he very quickly said, and he even said it was clear as day, that they both died from blunt force trauma by something like a crowbar or back of a hammer or something like this. And the blood, he was also a blood spatter analyst. So.
Oh, he was like Dexter?
He was like this, he was just like the dude. Like the medical examiners before. Yeah, no. I mean, I think it was in Pennsylvania somewhere, but. Monroe
County. If it's in Pennsylvania, I'm still impressed.
Absolutely.
I think that they just started learning how to read within the last 10 years.
Oh, they can now?
I think so.
Well,
I'm just basing that off of
the higher achievers.
Don't
the
give
higher
them too
achievers.
much credit.
The people that are a little richer, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
people that are above a 3.
Yeah. There's not many. Not in Pennsylvania.
So he said, and even in the car, he said the blood, the way that the blood was in the PT Cruiser and under her, it was clear that she was killed somewhere else and put in the car, and then it was staged. This is his opinion. Dr. Wayne Ross.
I'm starting to think that AB might be a murderer.
No.
I wasn't convinced at first, but
I gave it away. I already
in that
gave it
direction.
away.
I don't think so. I think he has a stalker.
But look, you never know. You never know. He's always the only one there. No witnesses. No real hard evidence, Anyways, along with, with Dr. Wayne Ross,
So he's responsible for fucking three deaths
Basically, yeah.
right now. Yeah.
So with the autopsy, Wayne Ross's assessment of both Betty and Jules' murder, and they also had parishioners and members of the church coming forward about affairs and sexual advances that AB had made on them, members of the church, as well as the large amount of porn that they found on AB's computer. They were saying,
God.
now again,
Was it child porn?
no. And
Okay.
and like, I'm not impressed by his fucking porn, you know.
What was it?
You could.
It just
was he
seemed like
into?
they were like, he was searching for porn a lot. I go, define a lot. You know what I mean? You can't just say a lot. What is
Once
it?
a day, twice
and
a day,
nothing was
6 times a
crazy.
day.
It was just,
What are you saying, Jesse? That you if it was a competition, you would beat him?
no, I just think that maybe back then it wasn't so accepted to just like look at porn a lot. Do you know what I mean?
If you're a minister,
If you're a minister, no.
You have
So
to
I think
be
that
less
was part of
naughty,
it, where they're like,
yeah.
it's just not really what we would want in a
it's
minister.
not kosher.
But again, not illegal, right? Affairs, not illegal. Hitting on people that you work with, not illegal. Nothing was non-consensual. Nothing was kids. Nothing was anything like that, right? So then you're like, okay, creep. He's a creep. He's a creep, for
Kind of
sure.
kind of
And
a
he's a
boring
minister and a
creep.
pastor, and it makes him even more creepy to be doing this creepy stuff, right?
Yeah.
Yes. So
I hate this guy.
wait till
gotta
you
say
see a picture of this pointy faced ding dong dork. AB's computer. So with the large amount of porn that they found on the computer, prosecutors believed that they had a case for the death of Betty Shermer. So with all those things combined, right? They were pretty sure that they can, because as we've talked about before, you have to have a case. You can't bring like a nothing burger to the judge and be like, hey man, I don't like this guy. He'd be like,
I just
cool,
got a weird feeling about this one, Judge.
cool, that's not really going to work. Or a bunch of circumstantial or whatever. Like, you have to spend your time actually bringing the case to the judge. So I just,
By the way, I just looked up a picture of this guy for the first time. With a beard, he kind of looks like the most uninteresting man in the world. Like,
yes, just like,
not necessarily a bad-looking dude, but
no, he's not.
not somebody that I would leave alone with anybody that I cared about.
Yeah, if you look like that and you're creepy, it's like,
He kind of looks like he does have a creepy vibe to him.
Yeah.
If you can get that feeling through a picture, I can only imagine
yeah.
what it
And
would
then
be like in person.
what if he has like a Pennsylvania accent?
Oh, God, even worse.
What does
Yeah.
that sound like?
Hoagies.
Don't you
Hoagies
know?
and grinders.
And he has a limp, probably.
Oh, so I thought this would be funny. So Joel, put up a picture of Cindy and AB right now while I read the email exchange.
All right, like a side by side.
Okay.
Okay.
No, just put it right. I just want my voice with the picture of the two of them.
You got it.
There's one of like, he has his arm around her and she's like leaning against. So Cindy writes,
Shorty riding me 'cause I run this shit. Dipping through the streets with the hottest chicks. Double take, got that boom boom bitch. Slamming on her waist 'cause I'm exotic.
unimaginable is the only word I can use to describe last night. But keep the picture up, Joel. I have occupied this body for 40-something years, and trust me, this is not normal for me. AB, I am very hungry for you. Your body is fantastic. Okay? Did you keep the picture the whole time, Joel? Did you take it off at any point?
I don't think so.
He also, you can take it off now. He also confided in Cindy that he was so much happier now. This is, by the way, days after Betty's death. Just days. not months, not year, whatever, days. He was saying that he was so much happier now, that Betty, for the last 2 years, they weren't intimate, they didn't have sex. She was premenopausal. You're like, hey, bud, I mean, you're
That's
fucking
life.
50s and 60s. What are you doing, dude?
How does he have the energy for it?
Thank you. Don't know. Okay, so prosecutors... What?
Oh, I know.
Can't wait.
Coop said that because he already doesn't have the energy now.
No, that left like a solid 2 years ago.
Coop, you got energy? You got the drive? What's up?
Oh no, not anymore. I'm an old man.
Not to like email and like fucking chase.
Oh,
I don't
no,
know. It
I am
sounds like a fucking nightmare.
I am notoriously bad at sexting and dirty talk.
Yeah.
Are you a starfish?
I'm hungry for you now. Right? You'd be a real AB over there. Okay, so prosecutors took a year to build their case, but decided to speed things up when AB actually proposed to Cindy. So this was going to be his third wife, possibly third victim. Thank you. So in September.
How long ago was, or how long after Betty's death was it that they got engaged?
Shit, so it was... I think it was like year and a half.
Yeah, still a little close.
Very close, but not like they got they got together right after.
This is
well
awful.
after her husband's suicide, but in September 2010.
Damn it, this is fucked up.
Yeah, in September 2010, just a few weeks after Shermer's proposal, he was arrested and charged with Betty's murder. So AB took the stand in his own defense because he's that much of a fucking narcissist. But
oh God,
I will say the defense, and this works sometimes, their whole defense was, yes, he did all these things. Yes, he was, you know what I mean? Yes, he had affairs. Yes, he was having sex with people in the church. He moved on very quick. All of these things that are horrible that you're going to bring to the table, he's going to admit to and just say, yes, that doesn't make me a murderer, right? Like, that's
Your Honor,
a really
yes,
good...
my client is a terrible piece of shit, but
Yes.
he's not a murderer.
It's a good defense sometimes if they didn't have as much on him as far as the, like, autopsy and the two...
I mean, it is a good way to build a case because if you get them to just be open and honest about these things
Yes.
that people would generally
If you get the jury to
try
be
and
like...
sweep under the rug, like, well, he's admitting to all this other stuff.
Yes.
So,
And the jury loves when, you're just, like, honest and... sorry, yes, I did all those things, but I didn't do. So if you're admitting to all these other horrible things and you say, but I didn't do this, like, that doesn't make me a murderer. That's a really good, because that's a lot of the times in the cases that we talk about, we're like, is he just an asshole that I don't like? Or did he really murder, right? Two different things, but it's really easy if he hadn't taken the stand for people, just character assassination plus this, plus that.
Yeah.
But if he goes, yeah, I am. We're all flawed, whatever you want to say, right? Like, so that was his defense. And we know the prosecution's case. But the other thing I thought was funny is when they did like recreations of the crash, they found that he was like only going maybe 18 miles an hour. And they do kind of this recreation that's very funny, but it's just him like he's on the same side and he just kind of like pulls over and just like keeps driving a little bit. You know what I mean? Just kind of slowly goes into the guardrail with his wife that's already completely battered next to him.
Was she conscious or unconscious when
she was breathing?
Something.
She was breathing.
Dickerson?
Yeah, she was breathing, he said, but not there
But
at
already
all.
comatose.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or maybe
I
just
thought-
like a
I thought
little.
he killed her at the house first.
Prosecution is saying, and evidence shows that he beat her at the house and then put her in the car.
Yeah.
So I think it's one of those things where you think she's dead, but
She was still alive a little bit.
still alive and breathing a little bit. But as we
This fucking
said,
guy
he's
sucks, dude. I hate
as
this
we
guy.
said, he's sitting in the PT Cruiser making no attempts to save her, flag anyone down, whatever. So he could be waiting. He could be about to finish it off. We don't know, right? But
You'd
like,
just be enjoying the amazing seats that they have in those PT Cruisers.
that's what I found. Yeah, those bucket seats,
Oh, yeah.
nice. So I
So he
did
was sitting in
find
the
it
car
amazing. I
waiting to
did
die?
find it amazing that he was able to get these women to the point of life support. You know what I mean? Like to take it, to be able to kill, beat someone to the point of like they're still alive and they're going to die in the hospital, which is always a good.
If he did that on purpose,
It's impressive,
It's
no?
not that it's
Two
a
of
good
'em?
thing, but yeah, that's
Two of 'em.
impressive. That takes some skill.
Two of them, he
That takes
got to
some
the
restraint
point.
Also.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you. More importantly, you're going to beat them enough that you know they're fucking brain dead, but not to kill them. That's a master, right?
Oh yeah.
So that
wrong with
was
you guys?
that
You
was
gotta respect
well. I'm
the
just saying.
craftsmanship, Joel.
No, I'm just saying that was always in this case. That was the one thing that kind of I go really like. He was able to take them both to the place of the paramedics need to take him there. He's in the hospital, being able to like hope that she comes back. Do you know what I mean? That
Yeah.
really helps.
Oh, absolutely. It makes you seem so much less suspect.
Right. If you're in the hospital.
And if you go through the process of actually getting them to the hospital, it
Yes.
shows,
And
oh,
you've like,
oh, God, I tried
you're
to
trying
save
to
her.
rescue them and they couldn't. It's almost like the doctors couldn't. They killed her.
it's the goddamn doctor's
Right.
faults.
So that was kind of amazing to me. But anyway,
That was amazing to you? That's the word you use?
Might have been a poor choice of words.
yeah,
but
dude.
I don't know.
What fucking show are you on? Because you're not on this one. Where's your fucking head at?
Are you
Amazing. That's the word you
you're
want to
impressed?
use.
You're impressed? by
See,
this guy?
I would have said impressive.
I am impressed. It's actually insane. Either he didn't do it or he was able to, again, like I said, beat someone to the exact point that they would go on life support for only like 2 days.
That's
Do
like
you know what I'm
catching
saying?
lightning in a bottle twice. And it's not like he had a whole lot of practice.
I love the detective in the case. It's just like, we don't believe, like, as detectives, you just don't believe in coincidence, right? Like, oh, how crazy. I have 2 wives that died from head trauma. Like, we just
Isn't that
don't.
weird?
We don't believe that there's any coincidence. It's literally just like, how'd you kill her?
Yeah.
The jury took 90 minutes to convict AB of third-degree murder. Yeah. Meow. He was sentenced to life in prison with no parole or possibility in like 20 years, but still needed to stand trial for the death of his first wife.
Fuck yeah.
Ooh, gonna get
Right? We're not going to let that one go. They did use it. It was able to be it was admissible in the first case, which is crazy, but it was. I think just the autopsy, not exactly like the details of it, but so now he needs to stand trial for that. So on December 2015, AB actually entered a no contest plea to the death of his first wife, Jewel. He said he told his daughters, like, I didn't do it. I just didn't want you guys to have to go through another trial. Isn't he so sweet?
Oh, what a
Isn't
what
he
a
such a
good
sweetie
man.
pie?
Good father.
I'm going to...
He admitted to
Chew.
it?
Huh?
He admitted to doing it?
No, he said
he-
no contest, which basically means I don't want to go to trial.
Yeah,
so
nolo
you
contendere.
decide.
That means
I don't want to
that-
go to trial.
That means that you're
You're gonna take
it's
whatever-
nolo contendere, right?
Yes.
It means that you will accept guilt, but you're not admitting guilt. You'll accept a sentence. You're not going to fight whatever sentence they give you, but you're not actually admitting guilt.
So if you say guilty, trial.
It's
Not
kinda like,
guilty,
"Oh,
trial.
fuck it, dude. If you say so, yeah,
exactly.
sure, I
and
killed her,
basically,
whatever."
if you're already in jail for life, like you do no contest, right? Where it's just like, I'm not going
care.
through another trial.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if the judge goes over the evidence himself or whatever, he can decide from there. So Jewel's brother actually read a victim's impact statement.
That was really
That was
good.
good, right?
That was really good.
I didn't even know I could do it, Joel.
That was dope.
Yeah. Yeah. You need to put a picture of this guy because he's super sweet. And also when he talks, he's just like, he seems fucking stoned too. The brother, he's great.
Okay.
But like,
What's his name?
he's just great. He's the character. John Benahy. But anyway.
Can he be played by Matthew McConaughey in the biopic?
No,
okay
it's
if I
more of like it's just like a sweet, kind of like bigger, bald goatee guy.
Oh, okay.
But like sweet.
Like who? Like Chris Farley or something?
No, older, bald, bigger goatee guy. Who would that be?
Kerry King, guitarist from Slayer.
There you go.
Oh.
So
I'll just put
can
him
he
on.
act?
Yeah, just put him
Can he act? Oh yeah, just put a picture of him. So anyway,
with him on
picture
stage next to
him.
Tom Araya.
He would actually think it was cool, probably this guy, because he's kind of sweet. So he said, I've
Got a
I've
great sense of
waited
humor.
a long time for this day. You destroyed so many lives, and to this day you just don't care. You were responsible for the deaths of 3 people, my sister, Betty, and Joe Musante. Just like you said, Joel.
Yeah.
You and fucking John.
It's my boy, dude.
That's your boy,
That's my
dude. That's
boy.
what you said fucking day one. So Judge Tylewalk told Shermer,
Wait, how the hell is that spelled?
Tylwalk.
Tylewalk.
What would you say? How would you say it?
Tile Walk.
Tilewalk or
It's not a name,
Tilwalk?
though. Oh, maybe Till.
Tilwalk?
Till's a German name, but it's usually spelled with an I.
Till. Yeah,
Tylwalk. I don't know. I tried. I think I got close. But he said, you don't have to stand trial. You don't have to stand in front of me and tell me you murdered your wife. You can go on telling people that you didn't. This is not a conviction of you being an adulterer or extreme immoral conduct. This is a conviction for the death of Jules Shermer. Only 2 people know what happened that day, and I believe you are completely responsible. I do love when a judge just goes, fuck off,
you.
motherfucker. And he said he's not going to sentence him to consecutive because that just doesn't do justice. What he ended up sentencing him to is like natural life in jail with no possibility of anything ever.
Fuck yeah.
So he
Isn't
basically
that the same
took
thing
away.
as life without parole? Or is
No,
that,
I
is
think
that
he had
different?
the possibility of parole in 20 years.
Oh, okay.
So he was like, I'm taking that away. No appeals, no nothing, natural life. You're not getting out. That's
Good.
where you're going to stay. So what do you think? Is that the ending that you wanted for this guy?
Yeah,
Your
that's
favorite
good.
dude? Your favorite dude?
I like that he got that. So life forever.
Natural
No
life.
chance of anything, no
Natural
matter how
life is
nice
like
he
you're
is.
gonna, and I've talked about this before. There's a
Natty light.
I think Natty Light, dude. That's good. I've talked about this before, but I forget what I think the documentary is Into the Abyss, but it's about the thing that you don't think about is like, okay, life in prison, but you get old and you get sick and you need to be in this like disgusting jail hospital. And that's where you get
That's the real
you
torture.
get sick, you're uncomfortable, you
Yeah.
don't get things. They're not really helping you. They're not taking your pain
They don't even
away.
like you.
They don't like
wanna help
you.
you.
Your other, inmates kind of like your nurse, right? And so and you die alone in like a cell with a hospital bed. And there's like other inmates will like volunteer to like hold your hand or something. But
It's a little.
do you know what I mean? So when you go, oh,
And they
life in
fuck you when no
prison,
one's looking.
that's the part where you can maybe, when I saw that documentary and saw what it actually is, and when you think about old people in wheelchairs, like, or can't walk or whatever, in jail and dying in there, that's when you go, okay, that's the justice, right?
Yeah. I mean,
That's
can you
where,
imagine?
the sadness of that shit was like, all right, maybe you did get what you deserve, right? Because people always say death penalty, whatever, kill him. It's like, that shit is fucking worse.
A death penalty
Way
is
worse.
so much more
So much easier.
merciful
Yes.
than
It
forcing
is
somebody to
actually.
spend the rest
It
of
is
their
actually.
natural life
If
in prison.
you-
Because exactly what you just described, imagine yourself like in your twilight years Nobody from your family's visiting you. Everybody hates you. You're old and decrepit, living in a shitty prison.
Yep.
And just slowly wasting away. You know,
really low level, like healthcare. They're literally just
People probably push
keeping you alive.
It is the absolute bare minimum just to keep them alive. Because that's even the amount that they feed people in prison. Is they feed you the amount of calories that is like just enough to keep you going.
Right. They're not like looking into if you've got like some pain or something's going. They're not like running tests and sending you to specialists. Like you are just an old sick person
like,
that
sir,
they're
you
like,
realize that you came here to die, right?
yeah, hey, listen, murderer, we're not gonna like run some more tests for you. Do you know what I mean?
And
like,
also, would you really want to extend the amount of time that you have to spend
and I
in
think
there?
that's the real inhumane part is where they're just like, dude, just fucking kill me. Like, don't give me this stuff. Don't keep me alive. And they're like, we gotta. Sorry, but just enough to keep you alive, right? How? So, yeah. So when I hear people, you know, horrible crimes or whatever, that they get life in prison, you go, dude,
Fuck yeah.
that shit's going to be, and people want to be like, no, torture them, make them do, you know, what they did to that person. It's like, don't worry. Don't worry.
Yeah, it's really expensive.
Yeah, but by the way, they spend the bare minimum. Do you know what I mean?
True.
So they keep them alive, but it's the bare minimum. So anyways, what do you think of old AB?
Might be a bit of a hot take, but I think he's innocent.
Coincidence. You believe in coincidence, huh? Yep.
Well, maybe not coincidence. Let's call it serendipity. It's a little bit more,
right?
A little bit more fun.
We've definitely named some of these with the dead wife.
What happened to Cindy? Why didn't she get in trouble for killing her husband or forcing him to kill himself?
Oh, God's going to take care of her in the afterlife.
Well,
Do you know what happens to harlots in hell?
Because she didn't, right? Like,
she drove him to commit suicide.
Yeah, but that's like her daughter. Like, if you want to go through like what they're up to now, like Cindy is still out there and still probably like fighting for him on his side, working, you know, talking to him. Her daughter
sending nudes.
Probably they're fucking married now. You know what? Should I look? Cindy now, or do you want to? On your phone, Cindy Musante.
Cindy
Musante now. Her daughter has no relationship with her, won't talk to her, obviously, because she put her in the worst position that anyone could be in their young life, if not their whole life, right?
Ooh, she's a looker.
She's always been.
Funny thing is...
Which one? No.
Is that not her?
No,
Cindy. So I was going to say, she looks like she hasn't aged a day.
Do we say Cindy?
How do you spell Musante?
Musante.
Yeah. Say Cindy Musante now.
That was my mistake. I put today instead of now.
Oh, I put today.
What the fuck? Anyway, so, you know, this guy has left a trail of destruction and seemingly is still not taking any responsibility. He's still, you know, claiming that he's innocent. His daughters are still completely on his side. And, you know, it's fucking insane.
It's
insane. It's insane that, like, the thing that I was saying about the Uggos, it's not really that. It's not really that.
Jesus.
No, to be totally honest, it's not really that. It's just like, gosh, divorce is not an option if you are a pastor or minister, right? It's not.
Can you not get a divorce as a minister?
No. I mean, as far as like you're standing in the community and
it's
everything,
shameful.
like in pretty
it's
religious.
much more respectable to just murder your wife.
But it happens a lot where they're just like, okay, this is going to ruin my whole reputation. Be a lot better for me to be a grieving husband, right?
That is a really narcissistic way to approach that situation. Because even
A, be a narcissist? He would never.
No.
My sweet Arthur Burton. He would never.
Old Artie B?
Old Artie B.
No.
He's a sweetheart, and all this stuff just happened to him.
But that is just the quintessential narcissist thing to do, where you're doing something.
Your
that's
reputation
gonna,
is more.
You're worried about your reputation, and you're doing something that's going to gain you even more sympathy. Like, oh, poor me.
Right. It all
Two
works.
wives.
It all works for you. And then, the other thing is like, not that it would be better, right? But in this weird way, this guy that's married for 30 years, sexless marriage or whatever, you would almost be like, who's the girl that got his head all messed up? Do you know what I mean? Not that it's an excuse at all, but like sometimes like these guys like who's this hot, sexy thing that like got in his head and manipulated him to think that, and then you show
a solid 3.5.
and then you show the picture and you go,
that's what did it.
You risked it all? You fucking bludgeoned your wife mother of your children for 30 years for this? But to your guys' point, that 3 is going to do a lot more than the 10 is in bed. 100%.
Absolutely.
They'll do butt
Again,
and
like
that's
I said,
the fucking answer. That's the answer. Right?
No, yeah. Butt stuff. That's the answer to everything.
Anyway, that's the answer to everything.
That's the name of the episode? Butt stuff, the answer to everything.
Yeah. Or one of these days we need to name the episode Prolapse.
There it is.